Get in, nerds. We are playing Victoria 3. I'm going to set the game speed to going a little faster. We're not doing a whole lot right now. What is this war about? This is over Mascara. Ah. The British want to puppet Mascara and end slavery there. That's not making you infamous? Wow. That's impressive. I should be puppeting countries in North Africa. Suppose I could puppet countries in East Africa. But we'll see. We'll see about that. I don't want to necessarily get all fighty right now. What if I vassalized Persia? Oh no, that's not going to work at all. Sad. Oh, that's right. A lot of these countries don't have much in the way of economy. I won't worry about it. Can I colonize Sakhalin? I think I can. We'll go ahead and build a port here. Queue that up to the top. It's not going to take long. Where are we with institutions? I could definitely... Shogunator's still at +2. I could definitely stand to go to dedicated police force once the Meiji Restoration is complete. I'm getting a political dysfunction malice on account of I'm low on authority. Wait. So I just took off the consumption tax on meat and added one on tobacco. It's not going to fully balance me on those things, but it is going to help put things back where they need to be. Sakhalin's going to get a port, and that's going to cover its infrastructural needs for now. Kansai province still has a crazy fast population growth. We're short on taxation in Kyushu and Shugoku, so we'll go ahead and build up those places. Demand for fine art is still high, so I think I can go ahead and increase the size of the arts academies. Where are they? Here. There's arts academies in Kyushu for some reason. Thinking about going to public trams would raise the cost of transportation by almost 1,000. So where are we with transportation? Transportation's dirt cheap. Our economy could definitely absorb that. So we'll go ahead and do it. Bam. It should make these urban centers at least a little bit more profitable. Going to gas streetlights would consume a ton more coal, but it would produce a ton more services. How is the price of services right now, though? Well, how's the price of coal? That's the real question. Coal is pretty expensive. But I've still got higher output capacity for coal in Kyushu by quite a bit. So I think if I... But how much coal would that use? So I'm producing 5.3k coal, and I have 6.67 demand for coal right now. If I went to coal for the urban centers, that would be 1.93k. That would be 2k more. Yeah, can't afford that. Not happening. Covered markets becomes available with steel frame buildings. It's going to cost us steel and glass, which we're going to be frankly short both of when we're in a steel frame building situation. Still working on gantry cranes. It looks like ironclad is going to complete before gantry cranes does, which is just fine. In fact, ironclads is about to complete, and then we'll have gantry cranes in another 5 months. So, industrial ports are going to use up a bunch of coal. So I'm actually going to build up some coal infrastructure and correspondingly build up some infrastructure with the intent of not disrupting the economy when we flip over production methods for that. Chigoku has... Oh, Chigoku is low on labor, so I'm going to automate the... going to enable the automation methods for my... Very good. For my rural buildings in Chigoku, in order to make those... Oh, I guess I already had it for those ones. I don't know any logging camps in Hokkaido, do I? I do. Boom. Don't have Steam Donkey yet. I don't know why people are building up... Let's subsidize these gold mines. Because I think gold mines are always going to stay profitable, but I really, really need them to be growing because they're producing literal cash for me. And I think they're producing a wild amount of cash more than they cost. Like, as this increases in employment, we're going to see a huge increase in minting overall compared to when they don't have subsidies. Let's make sure all of our other mines are as automated as they can get, now that there are people building mines in Hokkaido. Looks like they are. Whaling stations. Can't get those automation methods quite yet. Cool. Just making sure those are where I need them to be. I am draining my coffers fairly quickly. So how about... These intelligentsia are going to be insurrectionary. If I pull them into the government, I can make that agitator the leader of them and then boot them back out again. Well, potentially, our disagreements in... Let's do it. And then you, sir, be the leadership of this government, of this faction. And now you're out. But now, I can enact protectionism, and everyone will be pleased. And then we'll get a bunch of loyalists, and that will be very useful to us. That's going to make everyone happy. And it'll make the shogunate happy, and they just might, tolerate a move to dedicated police. Because I can definitely make use of dedicated police. I've got so much bureaucratic capacity from the number of... just the number of government buildings that I've got built over time here. So I think that's going to be on the agenda for us. I think that's going to be where we're going to go next. Where else are we getting low on labor? Other than Shikoku. Shikoku has unemployment somehow. Well, we'll leave that for now. That's okay. Kyushu's getting there, and Shikoku... I don't really have automation methods for most of these buildings, do I? Not useful ones. Oh. Well, that's interesting. We've got a native uprising in Sakhalin. Nothing to worry about. Just going to go ahead and activate our best offensive general to deal with that situation. I don't think anyone is going to intervene on this. So I'm just going to kind of leave that be, and we'll work on all our other stuff. And there's gantry cranes. Wonderful. So, time to switch over production methods. So, first thing, we switch over the ports to industrial. Second, we switch over the naval bases to ironclad. Third, we switch over the whaling stations and fishing wharves to steamers. And then we switch over the shipyards to steamships. And we're going to grab some of them and get... We'll have all of them produce military shipbuilding for the moment. Nope, that's not profitable. So we'll grab the two largest ones and go back to civilian. Ah, right, of course. I've got a bunch of people in my customs union still dependent on the earlier shipbuilding methods. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab the Tohoku one, put them back to wooden, and put them back to partial military. And then we'll put Kyushu on military. And that should be producing the number of ironclads that we need for our customs union. Okay, so we're good on... We're building close to enough clippers. We're definitely building enough man-o-wars. In fact, we're building way more man-o-wars than we need. So, let's go ahead and build up 4 levels of shipyards in Chubu. And we'll have those shipyards entirely to support the clipper needs of other members of my customs union. That could have been done better, but, you know, it is what it is. It's a learning process. A doctrine of iron and steam. The introduction of vessels with metal-skinned hulls represents nothing less than a revolution in naval warfare. Near impervious to traditional types of shot, Admiral Heihachiro Togo assures us that Japanese dominion of the seas will be absolute. This will make our line of battle invincible for 10% defense. Metal bows, metal rams. What could go wrong? For 20% Navy offense, minus 10% Navy defense. Or the Japanese shogunate rules the waves, 10% Navy power projection. Where are we in terms of usurping our nearest neighbor? Great Qing, we're pretty far away, so I don't necessarily need this Navy power projection. But getting Navy defense could definitely be useful to me. So I'm going to go ahead with that. And I'm going to be probably about doubling my number of... Ooh. We're having our steel imported. That's fun. Steel mills are pretty profitable. Cool. In fact, probably what we'll do is once these 4 are fully built, we'll switch these ones over to producing military ships, and we'll keep these ones on civilian craft. There's the war with Sakhalin. We're on consideration for protectionism. That is just fine. They added in an update that with that you can when you're in an illegitimate government, you can still pass laws that are backed by a movement, and I'm very happy about that, because I've definitely had situations where I was in a country that could not make the law changes that it needed to make to get its government to be legitimate, but also could not like change the way the government was built because of the way the political parties were broken up in order to become legitimate. It was a very bad situation. So I'm glad they've made a good solid change so that we can get out of that, because that was a weird kind of catch-22 that used to be possible in the old world. Shogunate are also more pleased with us, and I think things will be even better when our government becomes more acceptable. So, we've won the war against Hokkaido, against Sakhalin. Once we get their war support down, we'll be able to win this. France wants a trade agreement? Sure. You can have a trade agreement. I'll be more than pleased to do a lot of trading with you, France. The Chubu Cyclone. A cyclone has hit the city of Chubu from the sea, tearing through homes and people alike. It destroyed our home and wrecked my fishing boat. My family might be safe, but how am I going to feed them? A tragedy, but what can be done? Chance of a famine, 20% devastation. Or we should put some money into relief. 17K a week. Ooh, can't afford that. A tragedy, but what can be done? Not some manner of government intervention. I didn't move over to interventionism in order to intervene when there's a problem. These people need to be more realistic. Back up to speed 4 here. Hoping we can get the honorable restoration knocked out at the end of the episode after this one, and that's why I'm going to a higher game speed. So we should be able to... Oh, not quite yet. Alright. Well, that is what it is. And how's our market now? Oh, right. I was going to shift you to producing man-o-wars and you to only producing clippers. Why are you now unproductive? Excuse me? Clippers aren't that cheap. Weird. Not sure what that's about. Anyway, we'll see. Grassroots support for the law. Great Qing is fighting a battle with a landowners' revolt in Lanfang. Wonderful. The political wills and desires of the lower classes will always remain an opaque matter. For whatever reason, support for protectionism is spread like wildfire across the Japanese shogunate, spurred on by charismatic speakers and lively debates in small-time social clubs. They're backing what now? Well, who are we to complain? With their support, while their support was never a prerequisite for success, it sure doesn't hurt to have it either. Public enthusiasm expedites reform. This makes the political movement stronger, while also making the intelligentsia stronger, or use this common ground to calm the masses. This makes the lower stardom pops in Shikoku become more loyalist. I'm definitely going for the second one. I love having loyalists, and there's a lot of people in Shikoku. Great Britain wants a trade agreement. I accept. I'm happy to have trade agreements. That was a bunch. That was like 250,000 loyalists. And once this gets done, we'll be sitting pretty. I'll have a huge pile of additional loyalists. And that will make me very happy. I'll be able to increase taxes again. Let's see. What does our market need? We can definitely export clippers. Wow, only the British market's buying clippers. That's wild. It still needs more fine art, interestingly enough. So yeah, we'll go ahead and throw down another 10 levels of arts academies. I'm always happy to put the good people of Kansai to work in the delicious art mines. Rebellion in Jodhpur. Still doing rough on wood, but I guess we can only get that by importing. Scandinavia, my friends. Give me all this wood. Hardwood? Can't get that anywhere. We got a protectionist. A Luddite. Interesting. We'll see what happens with him once protectionism is completed. Infertile grounds. Well, I guess that answers that. And there's quinine, so that will let us increase our colonization level by 1. Not that we're going to do much colonization, although I might grab some of these islands down here. These islands have severe malaria, don't they? Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. I don't necessarily want to have a whole bunch of overseas territory in case things get silly. I want to be sort of... Because right now I'm in a situation where I've got a lot of control over things. Oh, advancement. Nice. Where I've got a lot of control over things. And in a war situation, I can very easily be... I can very easily keep myself protected in a way that is appealing to me in terms of my national plan. So I think I want to keep things that way. Dang, I can almost get there. Agitator, another one. He's a pacifist. He wants no colonial affairs. We might actually be able to accommodate this as soon as the colonization of Sakhalin is done, because as I said, I'm not necessarily interested in building up a huge colonial empire with my current playstyle. So I very well might be able to accommodate that. War happening in Western Africa. Not necessarily concerning myself with that. Still, oh man, gosh, everybody loves art. It just keeps... Are we obsessed with fine art right now? No. Is someone else obsessed with fine art? Well, I mean, no, it wouldn't. The percentage of the population is so low that it wouldn't be. Well, if it ain't broke, we'll do another 10 levels. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I might be able to be a big fine art exporter in this run if I can continue to grow my fine arts market. There's organized sports. And now finally we're working on steel frame buildings. It's going to be 3 years until we get that done. And we have egalitarianism spreading to us. That's just going to be what it is. I'm hoping it won't cause too much of a disruption in the social order. Alright. Austria is trying to puppet Mecklenburg. Austria? How are you going to puppet Mecklenburg when Mecklenburg's all the way over there? Uh-oh. Opium addiction. Han people are experiencing severe effects of opium addiction. The use and abuse of the substance is spread throughout Kyushu. The opium eater lies under the weight of incubus and nightmare. He lies in sight of all that he would fain perform, just as a man forcibly confined to his bed by the mortal languor of a relaxing disease, who is compelled to witness injury or outrage offered to some object of his tenderest love. He curses the spell which chains him down from motion. He would lay down his life if he might but get up and walk, but he is powerless as an infant and cannot even attempt to rise. Tragic. That is not great. So we get -2 standard of living for Han Pops and Kyushu, and 3% extra mortality there. Which is a real shame. How many Han Pops are in Kyushu? 7.8 thousand? I think opium addiction might very well be likely to actually decimate the Han population in Kyushu. There is a peasant revolt happening in India, which is a really interesting situation. I'm not going to get involved in that because that's not my business, but it is interesting. So, that's been a run. I think next time, we're about halfway here towards the restoration, 55.8%, so I think next time we're just going to sprint all the way there. So yeah, so that's the plan. I've had fun today. I hope you all have had fun, and I will see you all on the other side.